I wanted to make a video about identity, namely, who are you and who do you want to be? What if you don't know either of those things? It's funny. My dad named me after himself, which is literally the name for winner in Spanish. It's Victor. So it feels like I was almost hard-coded to succeed. But for a long time, I had no real firm grasp on those questions. Well, who am I? And who do I want to be? So I'm hoping that this is a way to look at it a little bit differently than maybe, whatever other advice you've gotten so far. Life is not about brute forcing answers. It's not about brute forcing success. It's about attracting things. But normally, most of the time, what stops us, I would say pretty much all of the time, is ourselves. We get in our own way. So how do we answer these questions then? I feel like most of the time, this is usually the way that it goes. You have ideas or some type of thing you want to bring to life, and you're like, okay, cool, I'm down, this is who I am, or this is who I want to be by doing this. And then you stop because you get discouraged. It could be for a variety of reasons, usually stuff that's not even in our control. But you stop, you get discouraged, and then it's that exact moment when you stop, that exact moment, that is the reason why you struggle with who you are. That's the reason why you never reach who you are meant to be. And I really do mean emphasis on meant to be. So how do we fix this? Well, first of all, you're going to want to fix your narrative, which is to say, right now, you're probably currently the person that never finishes projects, or, the one that will never start them. You'll just be in the daydreaming mode, or you're the person that starts them, but then you just suddenly stop. The foundation that you want to lay down then is really simple. What can you sustainably do to push you to start something that you can maintain? Something that you can maintain, but is also challenging. So say, for example, right now, you don't feel all that great about your health. A good place to start could be, with your food and your exercise. Something achievable with an end goal in mind of I'm not going to quit this. You don't want to go too ham, but you do want to be at least a little bit uncomfortable. Real brief example could be okay, well, I've decided that I'm cutting back on my favorite snack completely for 3 months. But the idea is you stay committed to those 3 months. Or if you want to focus on exercise, okay, for the next 30 days, I am going to do push-ups every day until I am winded. Even if I have to just, I only start with just one, or maybe I'm just so not used to them that all I can do is kind of hover with a small dip. But I will continue this for the next 30 days, no matter what. Even if I can only get in a single push-up sometimes because, I don't know, I had a bad day or things got just really extra that day. Here's a little bit of a different field, I guess. Say you're interested in drawing. So what you can do is commit to drawing every single day something, but you could even make it so that it only eats up maybe 5 minutes of your day tops. That way you never get the excuse of I cannot today. Do stick people if you have to. But the idea is that your new foundation, your new narrative now becomes, I am the person who finishes something every day. I am no longer the person who never starts. I'm no longer the quitter. I am not going to stop. And I know damn well that if I do stop, I know that the way back out of that same hole is to just get right back to it. And you want to make sure that every day you are growing this, either by increasing the difficulty of the thing you're doing, increasing the challenge, or you can see what other aspects of your life you can apply this to, this concept. If your room is always a disaster, for example, once you hit day 15 of your little push-ups challenge or whatever, you realize that, okay, on day 15, I suddenly find myself able to do freaking a dozen of these now, dozen push-ups. How can I use this discipline to fix my surroundings? How can I use it to change how I think about things? Even if your only identity at that moment is 15 push-ups guy, you have now officially changed your life. What else are you capable of? You weren't capable of that before. Exercise, I think, is a great example that I bring up because it's strenuous, it's challenging. It gets all sorts of good brain chemicals going for you, which is why I think it comes so naturally to this type of challenge, and you should be proud of being the 15 push-ups guy, because that's something that it took work, and it's way better than when you were before. So when you start to fall in love with this process of challenging yourself and you realize that, oh my God, I'm actually succeeding, you can't deny that 15 push-ups is more than one, versus where you were on day one. This is exactly how you answer who you are. It is through challenges. By improving, you will attract the exact description of your good qualities, like who you are really. I think most of us, we get stuck in like what the worst about what we think of ourselves. But that's not who you are. Your good qualities, the ones that are buried underneath, is what you bring out. But because you're comfortable with exactly where you are, you never get to see them, which is where challenging yourself comes in. So what about the person that you want to be? Okay. By fixing your mindset, you begin to realize, well, wait, I actually am someone that can commit, and someone that can accomplish things, okay? Even if I had to start off simple, I would recommend now, once you have done that, figure out what you don't like about yourself. What are your bad qualities? What are the things that bring you shame? It could be that you're too messy. Maybe you're too shy. Going back to the drawing example from earlier, maybe you want to be an artist, but you can't seem to get past the daydreaming stage. It's usually something, though, honestly, that's pretty messed up, something that's really wedged into your core that causes this discomfort. This is the quality that, will make you stop and not have confidence in yourself. So whatever quality about yourself that you find genuinely discomforting, genuinely hard to think about, you don't even want to think about it, that's honestly why I would recommend beginning immediately. Because what happens is that we get programmed to believe that these qualities of ours in our heads, they're not fixable, that they're just, this is how we're made, even though we clearly don't like this aspect of ourselves, this is just how we're designed. But this is just not true, I think we're just simply missing the discipline it takes and the mindset to take a look at these things a lot more neutrally. Then you can say, okay, well, I am going to change this. I don't like this. And the process begins once again, except now it's going to be, I won't lie, a lot more challenging than just doing the push-ups or the drawings. Because again, you may find some stuff out about yourself that gets into some darker territory, You may find that you may even need help from someone else to help you push through. But there's going to be some way to just gradually work at these qualities that you don't like about yourself until it's either completely under control or just gone. If you have a messy room, it feels impossible to clean until you realize that the end result of a messy room is the same if you clean it in a single hour in a panic, stressed out, or you clean it calmly, but in a challenging way over 30 days, little by little. You'll still end up with a clean room, but the end goal, I think, of this is to not only clean it for the most part, but you're also becoming the person who's able to keep it clean, keep it organized. This person is not only able to use this foundation to complete a challenge, every day, but it's now also able to use this foundation to fix themselves and become a more confident person, someone who doesn't succumb to just negative thinking and these bad qualities about themselves and vices that you're into that you use to distract from the pain of this. So whether you know exactly who you'd like to be, but you're too scared to chase it, or you have no idea, but you've become complacent and just well, I'll figure it out, or I don't want to figure it out. By making your narrative, by making your story the foundation of, I'm going to improve myself because it's my responsibility to fix myself, you will get clearer directions to the person that you want to be. I think when you face these challenges head on, the universe rewards you with little GPS directions, imagine you want to get somewhere and then you have no address or map, right? These exercises are what give you the map. You get the tools, but ultimately fixing ourselves is what leads us to the address on the map. Hopefully that made sense to you. Maybe it resonated, maybe it didn't. I think I could go a lot deeper on this, but I think I just wanted a real simple way to look at it, where you can make changes today. You can make them fast. It's just, I think we get so caught up with not only how we think about ourselves, negative thinking, stressed out, etc., but we trick ourselves into thinking that it's impossible. But everyone has their challenges. Everyone has their burden to carry. It's just a matter of getting past that, whatever it is in your own mindset that's keeping you back. And once you have that strong foundation built, it's time to just go, go, go. And you'll get your answers real quick without continually trying to force whatever it is that you currently think. You'll get, I think, a lot more of a clear direction. So I hope my little perspective resonated with you or helped you out. That's one of the things I'd like to do on this channel. I'd like to just help out as much as I'm able to. But I also do like to talk about a good variety of things, video games, music, and stuff like that. So you're very welcome to like the video and subscribe. Come hang out. Let me know if you have any questions or anything that you're stuck on that I can help with, and I'll see what I can do. But in any case, I will catch you guys in the next video.